Okay, crack here and crack over here. I used red apple cider vinegar in the spray bottle. That will eliminate rust. I'll spray that on the rust and clean it. I used the wire wheel here to clean the rust out of there, and it took a long time to get this thing clean. And first of all, there's like decades of grease on this cast iron stove top piece that's cracked. The other thing I used was the drill, and I've got a bodywork cutting wheel which works really well, this green 3M wheel, fiber wheel, and that really helps with cleaning. I did a lot of prep work. It doesn't really look like it, but I'm just nervous about it not being clean. Next thing is this is the bronze brazing rod. These right here. You can get these at all those big box Home Depot stores, Lowe's, whatever. They're about, I don't know, $10 for a big thing of these. Something like that. I don't know. Not that much. And I'm hoping to be able to braze this successfully. I think I can. I just practiced on this cast iron, these cast iron wheel cylinders that were from my Chevy or Ford. I forgot where they came from, but it worked pretty well. I haven't done that much brazing, but I've done some. So now I'm gonna ignite the MagneGas. MagneGas 2, Oxy MagneGas 2. This is just a regular acetylene torch. And as you saw in the beginning, I opened up the valve to the MagneGas. It's a special MagneGas regulator that you need to run the MagneGas. But that's all you need. You can use the same oxygen, the same tips. This is just a brazing tip on here. Now, this is going to be a little tricky, but this area is going to be the easier spot because this side has to be flat to fit onto the stove. And in here, I think it's okay if it's a little bit built up, so I can have a little more strength. Over here, it's going to be a little more of a problem, but we'll just see what happens. I'm just sort of heating up the work to get a bunch of heat all over the place. And then I'm gonna braze it with this brazing rod, flux coated, and hopefully it's gonna work out okay. The MagneGas is a special gas. It's really, really hot. It's environmentally friendly in that they can make it out of liquid waste. The MagneGas 2 at the moment is made out of butanol that comes from cornstarch. And they have made MagneGas 2 out of waste vegetable oil. I actually tried that. It worked fine. I don't notice any difference between the MagneGases. Then they made it out of soybean oil. Then now they're making it out of butanol, this corn-based butanol, because it's the cheapest way to do it, the best way, their most cost-effective way to do it right now. I guess butanol is kind of an alcohol of sorts. The MagneGas 1 was made out of antifreeze of all things. And I used that years ago, but they don't make that at the moment. They're making just the MagneGas 2 out of butanol. So the MagneGas is really, really hot. It burns at 10,500 degrees, they say, when you crank it up. and it also emits oxygen. So it's this really amazing gas, and it's very clean. The process to make it is very clean. It's a replacement for acetylene. I used to use acetylene, but my tank was too small. I wanted to get a bigger tank, and then I learned about this, and this came in the perfect size tank, and it seems to last forever. The PSI is set lower. You got to try it out. Not a lot of people seem to know about it at the moment, but I think it's going to become very popular as people learn about it. Okay, now it's getting a little bit cherry red. I'm going to start to, see that? It's a little red. I'm going to start to feed this in. This is very thin, so I am nervous. I'll try it. If it does blob up, it's just bronze, and it's relatively easy to grind down smooth. I'm gonna try to put a fair amount right here. Over here, I don't want to put so much because this has to be flat, fit onto the stove. Brazing is capillary. It flows. It's like basically a lot like soldering. So it can. I'm hoping it's gonna seep into the crack there. Okay, I'm gonna do this side now. Now again, I'm going to heat it up. Rod right here. Yeah, as you can see, the MagneGas, it can really make the metal cherry red very quickly. I'm being careful because the cast iron is very brittle. I don't want to, and this cast iron is very thin, it's very old. I don't want to damage it. See how red hot that gets though? Yeah, so they call this the fuel of the future, and I am using it right now because I like to try to live in the future, if at all possible. And this has similarities to the movie Back to the Future, in that they are turning liquid waste into clean burning fuel, kind of feel there's a little bit of time travel element for me, simply because I'm into old cars. And when you drive an old car, you're kind of going back in time. And you can run cars on MagneGas, which I have sort of experimented with. But to do it properly, you need a CNG system, and then you have to deal with the oxygen sensor. Because of the excess oxygen in the MagneGas, when it burns, it'll trip up it'll give bad information to the computer. Generally, cars submit about 0.5%, or at least definitely under 1% of oxygen in the exhaust. With MagneGas, it's like 12%, maybe even more, depending on how well the engine is burning the fuel. All right, I'm probably overdoing this, but I'm gonna let that cool down there. This one. All right, I think I'm gonna let this cool down now. I'm trying to get this. This is where I want it to be flat. I'm going to just melt this back a little bit. Okay, over here, the same thing. Alright, I'm going to let that cool down. And then I'm going to flip it later and see how the other side looks. This is going to be the end of this video. I'm trying to make it short here, but this is quite long, 14 minutes. Okay, over and out.